right, family. Look, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Look, we're doing this pulled pork slash minced barbecue recipe. Look, I'm going crock pot today. I'm going to let this slow and roll. Let me show you my ingredients. I got my Killer Hogs barbecue, the barbecue rub. I love this seasoning. I'm using some chicken bouillon, some apple cider vinegar. We got some crushed red pepper flakes. I'm using 2 small onions. I didn't have a medium onion, so I'm gonna just use 2 small onions that I had in the refrigerator. I got me some ground sage, and I got me some white vinegar. And here's my my pork butt. I got a pork butt roast. It's boneless. I typically like bone in, but this is all we could get. So we're going to use that. I'm going to use my white vinegar, and you know, a lot of people don't like what I do, but you know, I'm gonna spray it down with the white vinegar, and I'm gonna let it sit in cold water for about 15-20 minutes, and just let it kind of tenderize, and any potential bacteria, I'm gonna let it go. All right, so y'all hang in there, and I'm gonna get to that point. Hold on. All right, family, so before I go into my soaking, always remember, whenever you're dealing with your meat, especially, I mean, as far as with me, whatever I'm doing with any form of meat, I'm cleaning my counters off. I'm bleaching everything down first. I'm getting everything prepped, and then I'm going in with my meat. And, you know, what I'm doing with this, I'm going to cut this thick piece here. I'm going to cut this fat. You see all that fat? I'm going to cut all this fat out. This thick sheet out. All right. I'm going to leave a portion, you know, because I do want a little bit in there. You know, you got to have that good minced barbecue. But I'm going to cut this big piece of fat out, and then I'll be back and I'll show you what I'm working with. This is what we're going to be using for our pulled pork. We still left a portion of fat in. You know, we still left a portion. I know a lot of y'all, you may not want to watch this. Is X-rated to some of y'all that don't eat pork anymore. But for those of y'all that know how to get down with the get down, and you do this on occasion, you already know how this glory is going to end up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, you know, get my water ready. I'm going to spray down my meat, and I'll let you know what I'm working with in a couple minutes. Hold on. All right, family, so listen, I already, you know, went through my process. I let it set in the cold water and white vinegar for about 15 minutes. I drained it. I cleaned everything down, patted the meat dry. Now I'm going in with my Killer Hog seasoning. And I'm going to tell you, I feel confident in this seasoning because I'm only looking at 105 grams of sodium. So I'm going to season the way I want and not be afraid, okay? And then I'm gonna come behind it with my sage. That's what I'm gonna do. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna allow this to marinate in this seasoning. I'm gonna allow this to marinate, you know, probably for about 3 hours, because I want to get it straight into the crock pot. Because I'm actually going to put this in the crock pot for about, I'm gonna let this go in the crock pot for about 10 hours. You know, so we really slow walking this in that crock pot. Plus it's cool because it takes space out of the oven. You know, if I want to eliminate the, you know, needing space in the oven, you know what I'm saying? And for those of you that don't mess with pork, you know, I mean, I do it on occasion. Every so often, I like a good minced barbecue. That pulled pork is typically smoked. You know, I don't have a smoker, but I would love to have this in a smoker. It would be amazing. But there's nothing wrong with that traditional, old school, in the oven or in the crock pot. Minced, what they call, when I was little, what they called the minced barbecue. Everybody calls it pulled pork now, but it's basically the same thing. All right, but it's definitely in the corporation. You got to have that vinegar and red bell pepper. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add our sage. We're going to add a little sage onto it, not a bunch. You know, sage will take over the whole show. So I just want a pinch of it on there, just a pinch. Okay, dust, just a little dust, just a dust of it, right? All right, family. So we finish our marinade We're sitting real nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get our crock pot ready. I already chopped my onion, and I also made my broth. So what I did is I got 2 cups of broth, and I did a ½ teaspoon of chicken bouillon, and I thinned it out with hot water. So we're going to pour that in first. You don't want a whole lot of liquid in here because it's going to make its own liquid. You just kind of want to add like a little steam. Then after that, I'm going to add my onions. Okay, when I chopped them. All right. Now what I'm gonna do, then I'm gonna do me 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, get that mixed in there. Okay, and to that I'm going to add me 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. And we'll let it take its time. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wash my hands, and you hold on. All right, family. So look, what we're gonna do now, we're going in and we're gonna get our meat. Okay, and we're going straight in. Okay, it's a big boy. There's a big boy in here. All right. I'm gonna toss it around just so I can get around up in there. Okay. And trust me, I am going to keep my eye on this because I don't want the liquid to go too tall on me. All right. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to put my top on, and I'm gonna lock myself down. All right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go plug it in. I'm gonna set it on low, and we're gonna cook this nice and slow on low for 10 hours. And I'll see you in them 10 hours and let you know how I'm looking. All right, y'all, look, we're at our 10-hour mark, and we want to take a look and see what we got going on here. Got a lot of juice. Got a lot of juice. Wow, yeah, it's look at that. It's just falling apart. I mean, you can't even, y'all see? But I've got to get some of this juice out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take, and this is all I'm doing. We just look. At least you see, you don't need a knife for this kind of stuff. We talking about 10 hours. We talking about 10 hours. You don't even need a knife. This is 1 fork here. You know, I can go in and start pulling. You see, go in and start pulling. But what I got to do is I got to get some of this juice out, and I got to taste it, and I got to see if it's what I want. So y'all hold on for a minute. I'm gonna get some of this juice out, and I'll be right back. All right, family. Look, I brought you over to the light so you can see it a little bit better. So basically, what I did is I just added a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. That's all I really needed. You know, I got a lot of my juice out. Still left enough just to keep it, you know, nice and moist and everything. But what I am going to do, I'm going to add me just a couple tablespoons, just 2 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar. I like that little bitter taste. It just gives it a nice kick. It just gives it a nice kick, you know. And the red pepper flakes, you know, I'm not going to add any more to this, you know, because, you know, one day you might not want it spicy, and then the next day you might, so that way you can do it as needed, you know. But all in all, man, I mean, let me get in here now with this. Let me taste a little bit of it for you. Hold on. Let me see what we got going on. Perfect. Perfect. I'm talking about 10 hours. I mean, you didn't have to do nothing. But just that was awesome. Hold on for a second. All right, y'all. Look, I went on. I plated you up some. I took my jet and ran to Hawaii and got you, some of them Hawaiian rolls. Want to make sure you, satisfied and happy. You know what I'm saying? So, look, y'all. We just out here having a good time, man. Look, if you like the recipe, you enjoyed, what you saw and everything, and get in my comments. Tell me maybe it's something I could have added. I'm always looking for new ideas and just playing around. Like I said, this season, it worked out really great. I actually gave it like a slight sweetness because it has a little bit of brown sugar in that seasoning. So I didn't even have to worry about that. I mean, like I said, just added a little salt and pepper at the end and a little more apple cider vinegar and the red pepper flakes to taste. So you can't beat it. But appreciate you, family, for watching, and enjoy your day.